If you've been thinking about starting a podcast or whether you want higher quality voice audio on a YouTube Hangout, I'm going to show you what I believe to be the best inexpensive setup to get this done. Let's get into it. One of the standard microphones you'll see in a lot of videos is this. This is the Blue Yeti USB powered microphone. It's actually a really great mic. I've had this for years. I've used it on Hangouts, I've used it on podcasts, and just about everything else. That said, I reckon I've put together a much better option at a whole lot less price than this. And it also gives you the flexibility to change microphones down the track if you so choose. So what have I got? The first thing that you'll need is a sound card or audio interface. This is the U-PHORIA UMC22 from Behringer. Behringer makes some really great units. This is only 39 bucks, so it's an absolute steal. The one that I've been using for years, which is back there, I'll show you in a sec, is the Steinberg UR22 MK2. I just picked this up just to see what it was like, and it absolutely sounds great. I can't hear a difference between the two units. So this is a really good option. And the reason is because the preamps are actually nice and clean in here, you can always upgrade your microphone to get a better sound, and this won't actually let you down. For 39 bucks, this is hard to beat. All the links to this stuff will also be in the description. What you're looking at right now is two different types of microphone stands. This particular one just sits on the desk. The pros of this is it's easy to move, it's very stable, but if you're tapping the desk or you accidentally knock the desk, it basically will pick up noise through the actual shaft of this into the microphone, as well as any ambient noise obviously, but it actually, you'll hear like a thud come through the microphone when you touch it. So even with a good quality shock mount on the microphone, this option's okay, but it's not great. This next option that you see here is probably the way to go. This is my actual first one of these mic stands in over almost 20 years of recording and doing podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So for me, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go. For 13 or 14 bucks or whatever it was definitely worth a shot, and it just attaches to the desk. And then you've got pretty much a free range of movement on where you actually wanna position the microphone. It's a whole lot easier than something like this, where you might actually have to come up to talk to the mic if it's not tall enough, or if you don't have the right amount of length on the actual stand. So something like this is definitely the way to go. We're gonna open this up and hook it up in just a moment with all of this stuff, but let's talk about some mics. Now, choosing the correct microphone is absolutely essential. I'm gonna give you a quick 1-second guide. If it looks like one of these, don't buy it. These aren't the right type of microphones for doing a podcast. Sure, you can get away with it, but in comparison to a large diaphragm condenser microphone, these will sound terrible. So let's check them out up close. This is the sort of microphone you want to avoid. While these are fantastic for electric guitar, snare drum, and all that kind of stuff, they're not the correct microphone for doing a podcast. If you are doing some recording of a live band or something like that, they're a really, really good choice. Now, this is the kind of microphone you want to have if you're going to be doing a podcast. The capsule in here is nice and large. It's a condenser microphone, and condenser microphones inherently sound a whole lot better for doing podcasts than dynamic microphones, which is the one that I showed you before. As you can see, it also comes with a shock mount, and this particular microphone, believe it or not, was only $2 on eBay for quite some time. They're up to about 26 Australian dollars. These are also on Amazon. Unfortunately, they're not as cheap as that anymore, but I'll definitely post links in the description. Even for the price these are now, these BM800s, they sound fantastic. I would put this on par with some, not all, but with some of my more professional microphones. This is a Rode NT2A microphone, which is worth about $600 or $700 back when I bought it. And I've got to say, the audio quality on this isn't anything to scoff at. I think it really, really sounds great. To put it in some kind of context for those who might be disagreeing with me, I've got about 30 microphones in my entire collection. Lots of really mid to high-end microphones as well. For the price, I think this does extremely well. So this is about being on a budget. And the other reason I mentioned doing it this way with this particular microphone, if you keep at it and you want to upgrade your mic, you've still got a good interface that you can then go ahead and plug something like this in, or a Rode NT1, or any other number of microphones out there. Here's what the UMC22 looks like from Behringer. This is with it unboxed and with the plastic thing off the front, so it looks spectacular. As you can see on the back, we have a USB out. This will go to the computer via the supplied cable. One end into the audio interface, the other side into the computer. And that is it. These are powered from the actual computer, so you don't need like a third-party power supply or anything like that. Great portability in that sense. Up next, we're going to put the microphone stand on the desk and check this particular one out. Now, I haven't tried this before, not endorsed by any of these companies. I actually went on Amazon and purchased this, so if you appreciate that, please give the video the thumbs up. If it's a dud, I'm also going to let you know as well. But for 14 bucks or thereabouts, I thought, you know what, it's worth a shot. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff in this case. There's this plastic ring, which I don't know what it does. We have the actual stand itself. We have a microphone clip for the type of microphone that we're not going to be using in this video. Some instructions and the actual clamp that goes on the desk. So hopefully this doesn't damage the desk either. That's another thing worth checking as well. I gotta say, this actually feels pretty good. I was a little concerned that this would be kind of like the weak point of this entire setup, but you know what? It actually feels pretty good, although I haven't extended it yet. It actually feels pretty good. So yeah, let's hook it up. Now, I also made mention before that I hope this particular part wouldn't damage the desk. It's like a little vise, and it looks like it's gonna be fine. It's got a soft piece of padding here. Just to be safe though, you could put another piece of wood under here or something like that just to protect the desk if it's an expensive desk. Luckily, mine are worth about 20 bucks. Included in the microphone accessories was this little piece right here. If you're not sure what that is, it will actually make the threading smaller on the edge of the microphone, and that's exactly what we need for this particular case. So you just turn them like this. Now just grab a coin in your currency, whatever might be smaller. If you're in the United States, maybe a 10-cent coin. If you're in Australia, 5-cent coin or 10-cent coin works as well. We can just use your hands like that. It's not that hard. To get them out, put a coin in there and turn it out if you've locked it in pretty tight. So that's all you got to do there. Then we put it on the actual mic stand. Now the good thing is we can have the microphone any way we like, and we've also got a hinge on it. So what I want to do is have it facing forwards. And I also want to turn the microphone around to the right side, which is that side. So that is perfect. One thing a lot of people will skimp on is the microphone cable. If the ends don't look like this, do not buy it. If you've got like a headphone jack style one on one side, and then you see this on the other side, 100% don't buy it. It's a piece of junk and it won't work with a condenser microphone going into an audio interface in this particular way. You want the best quality sound possible. You don't have to invest in an expensive cable because they don't really sound any different, but you need the right type. If you're not sure, I'll also post a link in the description below. Now, if you want to know why I was just preaching about mic cables, I've had this one for over 10 years and it's working great to this day. So just take care of your cables and you'll be good. Plug one end into the microphone, and then this particular side of the cable goes into the audio interface, into the mic input. This can only go in one way. Usually it's with this hole at the top. You should never force any of this stuff. If it doesn't feel like it's going to go in, you've probably got it upside down. And that is it, nice and simple. On the back of this unit, we have a phantom power button as well, which needs to be on because you need to power these particular condenser microphones. This unit is really easy to use, and that's why I recommend people who are getting into it use this particular unit, as well as it also sounding great. So the way it works is once you're plugged in here, you turn up the gain of the actual microphone using this pot. Now, it's actually hearing my voice even a few feet back, and the signal light is on. That lets you know that it's actually picking up audio. If I turn it too far, the red light's going to come on and it's going to distort. So keep it lower than the red light and you should be in business. You won't necessarily need this particular pot as it looks after the instrument input over here. Then we have a volume control here for the headphones, or if you're using studio monitors, you can plug them in and listen back that way. And a direct monitor, which allows you to basically hear yourself with headphones as you record. All right, let's take a listen to how this actually sounds. I've got the microphone facing my mouth. I've got it hooked up to the actual mic stand, going in via an XLR cable to the Behringer U-PHORIA UMC22 audio interface, and then straight into my computer, which is a Mac, and I'm recording directly via GarageBand. Now, GarageBand always has this compressor on. What you're about to hear is just the raw audio and the sound quality you'll get without any filters or effects or anything like that. As of right now, I'll put a little bit of an enhancement on my voice just so you can see how that sounds. Now, the cool thing about this particular microphone is it comes with one of these pop filters. And if you get too close to the microphone and you say a P or a B word, it can pop the mic like you just heard. So this freebie, you put this on the mic and then it should help cut that down. Now, using a pop filter can also change the sound slightly as well. But from my experience, this one should sound pretty good. You don't have to get super close to these mics either. You can come back a little bit and adjust the gain on the desk. If it looks like it's clipping, you can simply turn it down. If you're very, very softly spoken and you want to get up close to the microphone, you can do that as well. Turn the gain down and then get close like this, and you get this effect called the proximity effect, which makes everything sound big and full and intimate. And if you don't like that, you can simply move back, turn up the gain a little more, and have more of a natural sound. So it's up to you how you want to run it. Just know if you get too close to the microphone and you don't have a pop filter, it'll be basically unusable. Now, if you don't like that little windshield that goes on top of the microphone, you can actually go ahead and buy a K&M pop filter. These are fantastic. They're not super cheap, but they're amazing. They'll last you for years and years and years. The one that I've got is 10 to 12 years at least, and it's still going strong. So yeah, K&M make great stuff. This will be more expensive than just about anything else in this particular list. So if you just want to get started, you don't really need one of these, but if you do want to get one, I'll post links to these in the description as well. Now, one of the things to be aware of, if you're on a PC, you'll need something called ASIO drivers. I'll post a link to the Behringer website where you can get those. You can download them and install them, and it will allow you to connect the sound card in the same sort of way that we did with the Mac to any recording software that you have on your computer, whether it's Adobe Audition 3, whether you've got Cubase, Reaper, or any of these other programs. Now, if you can't afford to actually go ahead and buy a piece of software, you can also go to the Behringer website and download some of their software for free. It will allow you to basically record your voice into the computer and save it as a file. That's the start of the whole podcasting thing. So it's a really cool option. I hope this video has been helpful. I really feel like this is the best cheap rig for doing podcasts that I can find anywhere online. I'm absolutely wrapped with the quality of that mic stand as well. I think I'm gonna get another one because I have two different desks that I do this stuff from. This might actually live here once I attach it to the back of the desk properly. And I'll get another one for 13 or 14 bucks. It seems like a pretty cool deal. Any of the links you click in the description are affiliate links, so I get a small commission for any purchases that you make. Help support the channel. Thank you so much. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. Click that little bell. I have more videos coming up every single week. My name's Shane. I will catch you soon. See ya.